Hey there, Andrew from C1D Paintball. This game being played at the Apache Sports Range at the HOLLOMAN, United States Air Force Base in New Mexico. That's right, road trip. This is the first game of the day. First time I've played with anybody at the field. We're in the desert, in case you didn't know anything about New Mexico. I mean, there's different types of desert, but yeah, this is desert. We are on, as mentioned, an Air Force base. Everybody in this video except me is either current or ex-military from the United States. On my team, there's myself, there's Hunter, there's Jerry, who actually is my age, has been playing for 37 years, did semi-pro and everything. He knows his stuff. He also takes care of the field. He's in charge of the field here. And we also have Army veteran Daniel, 10-year Army veteran of the forces, the American Army, my son-in-law. So there you go. So that makes him a member of C1D. So I'm not totally alone here. Now on the other team, we have Taylor, Carley, and Chris. Yes, I had to read their names. I just played the one day with them. I'm bad with names to start with. I'm a person that really name tags are very important, but sadly you can't go around with name tags all the time. So did okay on this one. It's not a very long one, but I wanted to capture the first game on the field. Speedball markers are autocockers. I'm used to playing with my TMC, so MagFed or kind of a milsim look. I'm not really milsim, but you know, that kind of look. So I know some people get offended if I say we're using speedball markers. No, there's autocockers. Look, they're speedball type markers. Daniel, I believe he's played paintball in the past. He hasn't played in a long time, but he's got that training. All the other players are regulars at the field using these markers. So I'm at a big disadvantage, but that's okay. They know the field, I don't. They're military trained. Even in the Air Force, they take their basic training, so they know how to do things. Now, I know a lot of people said, well, you know, military training versus just playing the sport, that's different. Yes, it is. But these guys do both, and it's their home field. Okay, so a few little things here. I didn't bring my helmet down. I was visiting my daughter, and I didn't fly down just to play paintball. I'm not Wolf. I'm not that lucky. No dig on Wolf. Good for him. Love that guy. So I didn't bring my mask, so I didn't have my camera mounted on my helmet. I've got some sort of weird clip. I have a picture of it here. Kind of mounts on the side. Looks weird. Does the job. Doesn't capture the sound as well, and there's a couple times I'll reach to make sure it's in place. It's the first game. Because of that, how it's on there, it's not as stable on your mask. So there's a bit of vibration, but when I went to edit the video and I added some stabilization built into the software, it took away from, it made things a little too grainy. When I play in the woods ball, you don't notice as much. But I want you to see the field as crisply, that's the word, crisply as possible. So it looks as good as possible. So get a really, a good idea of how the field looks in that, which is incredible, by the way. Now I'm going to do my usual stop the video, start the video, explain what's going on. But after that, right before the video ends, before the main outro, I will play the clip intact. It's not a very long clip, but just in case you just want to enjoy it uninterrupted. So I've been talking a bit here. Without further ado, it's time to watch. All right, so my team runs in here. You got Hunter, big tall guy, by the way, up on the left. You have Jerry in the middle. Jerry, yes, he's my age. moves really well right to the guts of the field. And on the right, you've got Daniel. Remember, he's Army, the other guys are Air Force. There's a rivalry there. So even though he hasn't played in a long, long time, he's not dragging his ass representing Army out there. And there's me. Kind of, yes, dragging my ass behind here, but I'm going to take it easy. We've got the extra player. I'm probably more a burden than anything, but I want to see where everybody goes. Keep it simple, doing my call-outs and stuff. Now, the field basically, I'm going to point out this area here. It's a field hospital. It's literally a field hospital, like an Army field hospital or Air Force, whatever you want to call it. Where there's eye loops in the corners of the building, so you can get a helicopter, drop it down, or take it off a flatbed or whatever. So pretty cool stuff. But the field we're playing on is called Village. There is a street right down the middle of it, but this hospital kind of like is in the middle, a bit closer to our spawn. On each side of it are the different parts of the town. Speaking of each side, I'm going to go to the left side here where Hunter is. We got 4 guys. It only makes sense to put 2 on each side of the field.
One wide left.
So Hunter is here. He is opening the door. He's admitting himself into the hospital. You see what I did there? He's letting himself in. He's admitting himself to the hospital. I have crossed to the left side. As I mentioned before, I wanted 2 on each side of the field. And I got this big container in front of me. I know when I did a quick walkthrough before of the area that there's some openings on the other side facing the guts of the field. So I'm going to go there. And when the video restarts, I am going to play to make sure that my camera is like on properly and aimed forward, so it makes a little bit of a noise. Again, it's the first game. Want to make sure that I capture the action of this amazing field because I'm only here for a few hours, so I want to get as much good footage as I can. All right, so I managed to squeeze myself between a container and a barrier. I want to hug the building. Maybe I got a little extra pounds from too many green chilies from my week in Mexico, in New Mexico, sorry. Green chilies are real and they're delicious, I'll tell you that. So you could already start seeing the complexity of this field. There are many buildings, many barriers everywhere. So, you know, 2 main spots here, left and my right. Lots of nooks and crannies to be shot from, to hide in behind. Yeah, and the openness of the desert around you without trees around you to help you focus on an area. The color palette the way it is, very cool. And obviously in any field, if you know it, it's an advantage. On this field, how big of an advantage? What's the biggest word you can explain to explain? It's a big advantage. That's not really an excuse. I can't shoot as well as any of these guys either. And I slowly go to my left as I get to the front of that container. I'm kind of exposed here. I got a white container behind me and I'm standing in front of it. I will go to cover shortly. Here's another part of the field to the left. So, I mean, just a scan of like 3 or 4 seconds and you can see like a dozen at least spots somebody could be at. Remember speedballers going around, okay, autococker, non-mag fed with their marker up ready to shoot. They've played this so many times, so yeah, I gotta get behind cover. Now, in that hospital again is Hunter, and it's a good spot to be. There's just a few windows and you've got all the rest of that cover in there. But the thing is, everybody on the other team plays with Hunter. So they've been in that building, they've shot at that building many times, so it's got a lot of cover, but it's about map knowledge and everything. And these guys standing in the back, ready to shoot on either side, whether you're in or out of the hospital, yeah, it's a myriad of possibilities on this field that even experienced players like them, as Jerry told me, you know, you got to know what you're doing. Some of the buildings with doors, some doors open, some don't. What a surprise if you're new and you try to open a door. Maybe it'll open, maybe it won't. Just please don't kick the locked ones open, please. You know, their training will kick in, so no, it's like, hey, either opens or it doesn't. Take it easy, guys. Am I gonna kick open the door? I'm just lucky to be alive like 20 seconds into the game. Now I get behind cover. I had this nervous excitement before the game, the unknown, a new field and that. But now behind this barrier, I am feeling more comfortable. The game's on. I've played many paintball games before, so crouched behind a barrier, just looking around for enemies, sizing things up. I'm a bit more comfortable. Now actually, look at the ground. Good shot of the ground on this still. Yeah, that's the ground here. Packed dirt. There's some. There. It is a desert. Doesn't have sand, but that gives you an idea of the ground. I know my guys at C1D, my regulars we play with, and that are curious about the terrain and everything. That's what we're running on here. It's actually pretty cushy. I just had, because I didn't. The only thing I brought was my jersey and my gloves, but I had some decent running shoes on, and it did well. Normally I wear my boots, combat boots, but in this terrain it did okay. Now, I will spot an enemy. I'll see their head. Just go behind cover and dip down right about here. So I'm actually, while he's there behind cover, I'm going to try to get to something, a better location, because I'm just behind this one wooden barrier here. Yeah, I can hide here and that, but you got to watch your flanks here, especially when you don't know all the angles.
Company left side.
All right, I just made two huge mistakes. Well, one mistake led to the other. I know there's a guy in front of me. I believe he saw me, but as he just dipped behind cover, he or she, because there's two girls on the other team, sorry about that. Old man mistake. So my first mistake is I went into the building behind me, that container, which has only one door. When I got in there, I called out that, because when I got in there, it called out that I saw a guy on the left. I actually saw him before, but now I call it out. But I'm in a tin can, right? It echoes. Anybody that can even hear me call that guy out knows where I am just because of that echo. Remember, one door. There's a window on each side of it. And so the experienced player on the other side knows where I am, knows the only place I can go out. Remember, these guys are pros. They go around with their markers up. Not in a good spot. Now I'm going to look out this window here to see what I can see. I barely avoid getting hit, but I kind of sidestep it nonchalantly. So I'm in a bad spot, but I'm not panicking. I probably see the writing on the wall, but I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking, but I know exactly the situation I put myself in rather quickly. Quick shot here. There's that front door with the window on each side of it. So I got to use the windows to shoot my way out of here, knowing that there's probably a marker probably fixed at the door, ready to just go to each window snap wherever I pop up. What am I going to do? Well, that's why we're watching.
Coming up.
Yeah, so I decide I'm going to try to drive that enemy out their back. As soon as I get into the doorway, I actually go to kind of shoot towards my right, and I get hit slightly left. What about here? Almost dead center in the mask. Nice shot. And I am out. Not a lot of patience for me on this one. I make some mistakes. That's me. Not a great video, but an introduction to the very first game there. There'll be more. I've got a video coming out, maybe it's out right now as you're watching this, explaining the field a little bit more. Yes, there are more thrilling games and longer games than this, don't worry. I just had to get this first one out. As I promised, I'm gonna now play it continually without me breaking it up. I guess I do my outro now. It was a lot of fun all day. Felt good to get the first game in, even though I got hit right in the face. No expectations, right? Because just go out there, have the most fun you can have with some friends, or make new friends like me, because at the end of the day, it's only a game. Don't stop. I don't normally turn it off now. Let's watch it at a regular, non-interrupted speed here.
One wide left. Company left side. Hit! Hit! Coming up! Coming up! Hit! I'm hit! Coming up, boys!
Game over.